P. Weber always makes for great television, but you know, the thing for me, Rob, is I just love watching his bowling style. I call it poetry in motion. You couple that with that personality, hey, it just makes for great TV.
Wonderful theater. Now, he is our number 2 seed, which means he will face the winner of match number 1. 2 guys who are destined to join you, my friend, in the PBA Hall of Fame Club.
Well, the similarities between these 2 careers is very striking. You look at the titles, the number of majors, the back-to-back player of the years, and ironically, their last wins coming in Japan. But you're right, both future Hall of Famers. And oh, by the way, if you're looking for a verbal war, these 2 can bring it as well.
That's right, lefty versus righty in match number 1. Time now for the introductions of match number 1.
The number 4 qualifier owns 13 career PBA Tour titles, including a pair of majors. Former PBA Rookie and Player of the Year from Greenville, South Carolina, TJ Tommy Jones.
So Tommy Jones, hard-throwing righty, 13 tour titles, 2 majors. Second time we've seen him this season. That is a painful start. And speaking of pain, spare shots are a painful issue. Tommy Jones on so many levels this week.
And they have been since last summer. Tommy's going to throw it really hard at the 610, hope to bounce one over into the 4-7.
And an open frame to start off for Tommy Jones.
The number 3 seed is a 13-time PBA Tour champion, including 2 majors. Former PBA Player of the Year from Wesley Chapel, Florida, PA, Patrick Allen.
Good to see PA for the first time this season.
Yeah, Haas.
I mentioned 2 majors, the 05 PBA World Champion and the 09 TOC titles. Patrick Allen, the lefty from just outside Tampa, Florida, Wesley Chapel. Take a look at PA's arsenal for today's broadcast.
Patrick Allen using the rain, and along with Tommy Jones, we saw both players going through several bowling balls before the start of this match. They got about 20 minutes of practice and really jogging back and forth, trying to figure out a way to trick up this very sensitive Earl Anthony.
I didn't think it rained here.
You see that one about the 4th or 5th board, fairly straight, a little bit back end reaction there for Patrick Allen.
Made 2 TV appearances last season, finishing 2nd
Same deal.
and 3rd. This is first of the season. And has an early lead over Tommy Jones, who had an open frame in the first. Leaves the 7-pin, does the southpaw.
Patrick Allen also battling injuries the last couple of years, and one of them specifically being the knee. But boy, he really liked this shot, Rob. You see that one just feathering right around the first arrow.
Same deal, man. Same deal.
Big back end reaction there, only to leave a ringing 7, where the 4-pin just kind of slings around that 7-pin.
A strained patella tendon in his right knee, which is what has been giving him problems. That's his slide foot. So PA will take a seat with a strike and a spare. Great crowd here in Dublin for the one-a-day Earl Anthony Memorial Classic. We'll hear from Earl Anthony's widow in a couple of segments. Susie Anthony in the crowd again. Wonderful, wonderful woman.
She is.
So Tommy Jones in the second off that open frame in the first.
Let it go, Tommy. Get it. What is that? Get it going away from you. Slow. Jeez.
We talked about the pain that Tommy Jones is fighting, some left hip issues from kind of a freakish injury he suffered over the summer where he slipped and landed. Audio that was placed on him, and he has so many issues with the spare shots, which really seems to affect him even more. And there's Tommy with the spare issue right there. And Tommy, tell us about the pain level right now on that left hip.
No, it's okay. Those are just 2 terrible shots. No excuses.
And here is a look at one of those, quote, terrible shots.
Well, because he stands up on it a little bit more at the foul line, you can see him reaching for that left hip.
There we go. After back-to-back open frames, Jones gets a ticket on the strike train.
You heard him say, I just have to let it go. And what that means is he's got to trust the ball a little bit to the right. We even saw him earlier in practice trying to go straighter, but he decides to move in and go with something that hooks. And he's right. That shot there, he trusted. Gets this one off his hand from in to out. And all that power just shreds the rack.
The key for Jones, don't give in to the pain and throw a lot of strikes. Here is PA in the third. Strike spare.
And you got to love it when he talks to himself after he lets go of it. I love it. PA lets go of it. He says, maybe, maybe. Well, there was no maybe about that shot.
Don't be staying.
Here's how PA got here, 13th after qualifying. Lost to your number 1 seed, Ryan Simonelli, in the position round. He is your 3rd seed, the winner to take on Pete Weber. We begin the 4th.
Baby horse.
And again, he leaves the 7-pin.
Yeah, again on the left lane, just an ugly ringing 7 again, back-to-back on that left lane. Boy, you want to talk about making some great shots early on. That's Patrick Allen. Remember, former player of the year, major championship winner. We haven't seen him lately.
It's been a rough season.
Yeah, and it just, it's odd when there's television without Patrick Allen.
Best finish up until this weekend was 43rd this season. Twice he's come in 43rd.
Yeah, and there was nobody happier to get out of Las Vegas than Patrick Allen. Really had a tough go at the World Series of Bowling, tough go at the Tournament of Champions.
Speaking of tough goes, Tommy Jones is having a tough go of things here through 3 frames. Down 25 after a pair of open frames. Back-to-back jacks for Tommy Jones.
Yeah, just a beautiful shot right there. He followed it up with that great strike in the 3rd frame using a Mission 2.0. Again, he can go to something a little stronger, but this is the one he chose. Remember, you got to dance with the one you brought, or that brought you, or something like that. Dance with the one you brung.
Maybe just carpool.
And here's the thing, Rob, he throws 3-bagger right there after 2 open frames, and he gets right back into this match because Patrick Allen was not able to string strikes.
So 3 in a row now for Jones.
Get the game!
And a little
Getting the game?
A little momentum on TJ's side now as he sits and waits for PA Haas to step up here in the 5th. Strike spare, strike spare. All 2 of those strikes have been on this right lane. 3rd time today he has left the 7-pin already.
He said he really worked hard on his footwork and his arm swing after Las Vegas. He said he feels really good. And the combination of the good footwork and swing equals a really good hand at release. All 5 shots thus far in the pocket. 2 strikes and 3 7-pins is all Patrick Allen has to show for it.
Says his approach when he walks up a lot straighter now than maybe it used to be in the past.
Which I think makes his swing more in line.
Hey, the record. Come on. So PA remains clean through 5.
Said his physical game was about as good as it's been in quite some time this week.
His push away was better, and he said, he spent a lot of time crossovering this week with guys like Tommy Jones and Chris Barnes, who were passing along some encouraging words about what they were seeing finally from PA this season.
Come on.
Leaves the 6-pin.
Toughest part about television, Rob, you get the practice, and a lot of times you second guess yourself as to which line and which bowling ball to throw. And a lot of times it's just making a really good educated guess. But you have to be committed to that. Patrick Allen right now, his struggles are with pin carry. He's hit the pocket every shot. He only has 2 strikes to show for it. And thus this is a 3-pin match, even though Tommy Jones had 2 open pins early.
PA had a huge early lead due to a pair of gaps by Jones, but PA has allowed Tommy back into it. When we return, we'll tell you about Allen's odd last week at the TOC, a withdrawal, and a VIP view of the lowest score in televised PBA history. The one-a-day Earl Anthony Memorial Classic is brought to you by Lumber Liquidators, hardwood flooring for less. By the makers of one-a-day Men's 50-plus Advantage, the multivitamin with more of what matters. By Budweiser, great times are waiting, grab some buds. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Second consecutive season the PBA has been here at Earl Anthony's Dublin Bowl. We're getting set for the conclusion of match number 1 between Tommy Jones and Patrick Allen. But up now, your Lumber Liquidators Know the Wood weekly segment.
The 40-foot Earl Anthony oil pattern puts an emphasis on shot making and creativity, and none was better at it than Earl Anthony. But unlike most oil patterns, this pattern actually gets wider at the end. That forced the right-handers to play the deep inside line and the lefties to play out because the break point got so critical. But I think because the left-handers can play out, huge advantage for the southpaws today.
And 2 southpaws on the show. One of them right now, Patrick Allen. And then your number 1 seed, Ryan Simonelli. PA on top by only 3. As Tommy Jones is set to step up and close out the 6th. PA during the break thinking about some major adjustments if Tommy is allowed to string together a few more strikes. He's looking for 4 in a row right here.
Well, Rob, here's your opening.
Gambone is in the house. That's a great sign. 4 in a row for Tommy Jones, who is right back in this and on top by 7. His first lead of the day.
And Rob, you touched on it. Patrick Allen during the break was talking to his coach, Chris Schlemmer, in that depending on what Tommy does here, these next 2 shots, Patrick may have to make a big change. Tommy not ready, didn't like it, heard something.
Yeah, there was some noise in the background. Some guys were warming up several lanes beyond the set, and it was a loud thump that I could hear through my headset right as he was approaching, and that's smart. Yeah, that's a veteran move.
Yep.
When in doubt, pull out.
Yeah, that's just big-time shot-making right there. And you're looking at a former player of the year who said, you know what, I know I got off to a rough start with back-to-back open frames, but I still know how to bowl and I know how to play this game, and I'm going to show you. He steps up and just throws a 5-bagger right in the face of Patrick Allen.
Great decision by Jones to walk away from that initial approach and regroup. And now he is starting to pull away from PA. Big ball change here, and PA talked about it in the break, and he saw what Jones just did, and he says it is time to make a move now. Yeah, major, kicks the 7 late, his 3rd strike of the match, all of them coming on that lane.
And this is what separates professionals from amateurs, where Patrick Allen can make the change with conviction and step up and pure it and still hit the pocket. A lot of times you'll see players that they're hitting the pocket, they can't carry, they go change to another bowling ball, and they lose the pocket altogether. It's an open frame, not Patrick Allen.
So 3 strikes and 4 spares.
Come on, so
But
good.
all 4 of those spares have
stagnant.
been 9 spares. So
Come on,
he
man.
is not struggling. He's just not getting the pin carry like you mentioned, Randy.
Stay stagnant.
Now the ball change is only for the right lane, which is very interesting because he was striking on that lane.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Back-to-back jacks for the Hawks.
And Rob, the reason why he changed balls only on the right lane is because he left, in his own words, the kadoink 7. That's the weak 7. He didn't like the way the ball hit on that right lane, so that's why he switched on that right lane only, even though he hasn't struck yet until that shot on the left lane.
Now let's see what that sudden burst by PA does to Tommy Jones, who's working on 5 in a row.
Yep it.
Head on over to PBA.com right now during our telecast to submit your More of What Matters to You fan question, brought to you by the makers of One A Day. Direct your question to anybody on today's show or even Randy in the booth. If your question is selected, call your name on air and you'll hear it live. Tommy Jones, who's had problems with single pin spares all week, able to struggle through that one and knock it down.
I'll tell you what, Tommy Jones could sure use some pain relief from shooting spares. Max scores, Patrick Allen can shoot 238 if he strikes out. Tommy Jones, the best he can shoot, 234.
Jones has never lost to PA on television.
Really good shot there. Hey, you're wondering why Tommy doesn't have the same amount of hip pain when he throws a strike ball. He gets much deeper into the slide so that the knee is, is absorbing the brunt of all of that weight. The spare shot, he's straight-legged, much faster, much more upright. All of a sudden, that load goes into the hip.
Now that head goes down as soon as he releases it. That is fighting through some major discomfort. So back-to-back spares for Jones. And you see the anguish immediately on his face as the hand goes right to that left hip. It's the front of the left hip while he's bowling, almost kind of in a hernia-type spot. But he says when he sleeps, it's more to the side and the back of his hip.
Yeah,
Had x-rays, nothing, but it's waiting on an MRI.
Yeah, it almost looked like groin. Kind of a groin pulled, some type of groin injury, but it's not. It's in the hip.
Oh, that's got to hook a little.
3 in a row for PA. Didn't think he had it, but he'll take the result.
Going to take a re-rack, I believe, on the left lane. And what a great ball choice that he changed to in the 7th frame.
Come on, man, you got to throw better than that.
He said that one's got to hook a little bit. He did. He gets into the swish zone, throws 3 in a row.
You got to throw better than
now,
that,
a strike here
Come on.
and good count. He'll lock out Tommy Jones. It'll put him in the 220s, Rob.
Come on.
Talked about an interesting week for PA last week in Las Vegas. Actually had to withdraw with 2 games to go with 3 blisters on his left middle finger. I mean, not 1, not 2, but 3 blisters. And then his buddy Tom Doherty bowling, and he had to sit in the VIP room and watch him stretch to drop 100. PA was cheering for a 99, actually.
Maybe! Yes! Well, we told you at the top of the show how fun these two are to watch. Patrick Allen needs good count now. Avoid the big, giant, big 4 splitter, 5 count washout, and he's going to move on. Good count. Look at this ball just rip back, shred the rack. Looks like 3 in a row. The last 3 shots all shredded the rack. 1 good shot away from moving on and taking on PDW.
That was not the shot he needed, and a tough 2-7
Money bagger.
is what he leaves.
Yeah, but it's more than enough. 9 out here gives him 225. The best Tommy Jones can shoot 223.
And it's all over but the shout, and PA will move on, take on Pete Weber, but not before picking up that great spare. So the Hoss moves on with the 226. Up next, the wife of the late, great Earl Anthony joins us, plus a poll question around the greatest bowler in PBA history. We welcome you back to Dublin, California, the Earl Anthony Memorial Classic, brought to you by One A Day. And Tommy Jones had a big comeback in the middle of this match, but it wasn't enough as PA found the right ball and moves on with the 3-pin victory. Glad you're back here with us live this week on ESPN2. Last week, we were in Las Vegas for the Tournament Champions. This week, we go a little further west here in Dublin, California, just outside of the San Francisco, Oakland area, where the home where Earl Anthony used to live right now. His name on the marquee of this building, and the PBA on their website this week offered up their choices for the 5 greatest moments in Earl Anthony's career, and here are the top 3 as selected by those who logged on. And there's a lot of moments you could choose from. Was it back in 1982 when he became the first bowler to earn $1 million? Yep, that's what you guys voted on. The second winner was Mike Durbin, beating him in 1983 to win his 6th PBA National Championship. And coming up third, one of those great showdowns with Mark Roth. That was the 4th and final time they met on TV. We go back to our winner, where Earl became the first bowler to earn $1 million in career earnings by winning the 82 PBA National Championship. That one came in Toledo, Ohio. He was the tournament leader for that event. That event now known as the PBA World Championship. Again, Earl won 10 majors through his illustrious career, #1 all-time, 43 career titles, second most all-time, and 2 years ago, he was voted the greatest bowler in history. Standing by on the lane, Randy Peterson with Earl's wife, Susie.
Thanks, Rob. And Susie, I know there had to be so many great moments, but from that list, I know you voted. What was your best moment?
Well, I looked at the list. 2 of the events were before my time. 2 of them I recalled pretty clearly, so I went with the Mark Roth moment when he beat Mark Roth. I really didn't, I liked Mark Roth. Earl and Mark got along real well, and when Earl bowled Mark, it wasn't, the threat of a loss wasn't as painful as with others, which is why the recollection probably wasn't as strong, and I just wanted to see that again.
Well, that's great. I think that was my favorite moment as well. But what does it mean to you to have the legacy of Earl live on?
Well, Earl, he was huge in the sport. I mean, a lot of us miss him, probably me more than anybody, and it just brings him back. Brings him back for those of us who loved him. He was great, and it just, and for me, the whole week, and, it just makes, for me, it feels like he's still a big part of my life.
Susie, a lot of us think you're great, too. Rob?
Thank you, guys. Wonderful to hear from Susie. Classy lady. Up next, that man, the living legend, Pete Weber, makes his 124th singles TV Finals appearance. The man behind the shades, flexing his pipes, has his sights set on career title number 36.